So welcome everyone to a small presentation for the BLK3D What is New in 2.1. In very kind of fast form, what it contains is so the BIM 360 update, so the Autodesk BIM 360 update, some very cool new things. So we'll go through that. Then in BLK3D Mobile, we have a very cool thing. It's called imaging group. I'll go much more into detail into that. We have some screen improvements, some bug fixes, and some other things. On desktop side, we have a lot of performance improvements and so on. And yeah, so, and in the end, we will also check what is new with this BLK3D API and what it is, and also for who it is. So first of all, BIM 360. So you probably received already some information what it is, what we're doing. So basically it's about the integration with BLK3D photos to Autodesk BIM 360 docs. And so very quickly what it is so the BIM 360 docs is like a cloud platform where different participants of construction can store their projects, information, tasks, and so on. And the idea is that everyone there has the same kind of source of information. And what we have done is that everyone can also now access our 3D images in that cloud. So as long as someone kind of brings them up. So in this presentation, which you've probably already seen, it was sent out by product management. I will not go through all the points, but what I want to do is basically just kind of show you how this looks like and what it means then for the end user, kind of what's the benefit, right? So I'll start off by showing you how it looks like on the mobile. So you're seeing my screen here, and here we have the BIM 360 integration. So of course, to have that one, you have an additional license. It's the BIM 360 option. And how it works is when you open it, so I'm already signed in. I will not go through kind of all the steps, how to do this. So I think beginning of this week, you received an invitation, a video, kind of a workflow video, how you can, do all the steps in the BIM 360 integration. So, but we'll just touch the important things. So what you see here now is my BIM 360 account. And in this account, I have different data, right? So what you see at the top, I already have one PDF, and before I have one project. And what it means, so this PDF at the top, this PDF has already been used. So this means it's kind of stored locally. And the cool thing about that is because I can use it in offline mode. So that means it's pretty impressive that we can do that. Even Autodesk can't do that yet in their own app with the same kind of, let's say, environment. But yeah, so the idea is kind of a critical behind. So we want to work also in places where you don't have internet, right? So everything you kind of document, it's first stored locally. And when the device is connected to the internet, such as now, for example, then everything is automatically synced. So I'm just going to open the same project, already downloaded, and then you will quickly see what we have there. So now the idea is you go out, you document something. So let's say you want to document, you see an issue, you're in this room, for example, and you want to add an issue here. So Autodesk is working with issues. So you just click in bottom right the add button and position it where you want it positioned. And now here's where the important things come. So we've done quite some improvements here since the kind of the beta version. So now this is kind of a live release. But I'm just going to quickly put here just something, sorry. Just something for now. So we can put things such type, status, title, depending on the project. But very important is we can also assign these things to someone. So we've done a lot of research and beta testing with different Autodesk users, and this was one of the critical things for them. So I can, for example, find someone I want this to assign to, and then I can choose it here, and then they will see it in their kind of BIM 360 cloud. I can choose a due date, and basically in the end, I can make a photo, a new one, or I can browse it. So I'm going to just browse it in this case. I'm going to take the one photo I have here, confirm, and I will click create. So that's all. So we made this issue here. So what's happening now? My device is connected to the internet, so it's already being kind of synced with the cloud, right? So you can see here with the blue symbol at the top, the rotating one, this indicates the data is being transferred, and it goes both ways. So if there are some changes that I did, they will go up. And if there are some changes my colleagues did and they were synced to the cloud, I will also receive those changes. So it's very simple, and yeah, it works really nicely. So with the green tick, now you already know that all the changes are kind of synced. So very quickly, that was about the mobile, and now let's check what happens on the website. So this is the BIM 360 environment. We have our projects here. So everyone, there are different users, owners, or architects, or anything like that. And what they can do is everyone has access to the same files, and so people work here with the Revit files as well as PDFs, and majority is still PDFs. And this is why on the first step we decided to sync the 3D images to PDFs. And how this looks like, so I have the same file here that I opened before. So you see here I have issues. I'm gonna click here and just search them. I guess there must be something wrong in the cloud at the moment for the BIM 360. I just hope that we can then open the issue from the issue manager. So you see here, this is the issue I created. It is assigned to me. And if I click on it, so we see the information I put in the window, my name, so it's assigned to me. And below in this issue, I can see that the 3D image is assigned. So this is what has been assigned to me, and now I can view it now. So if I click here, this will open in the BLK3D web. And under attachments, it's the actual CMI file. So this is the CMI file, and that's just the thumbnail that shows the photo. So if I go back and I click here, now I'm jumping into BLK3D web. So I can just authorize it. And yeah, we're ready to go. So small loading, and we can then already measure. And the main idea is that you get more information again from the photo. You can measure, you can put text inside, and then you can again assign these tasks to someone else based on your findings there. So we have the photo here. Perfect. So now everything in this photo, again, I can measure, just tap two points. You've already seen that. But the main process here is, so we can measure, we can add text here. And the main thing is we can sync all the changes back to BIM 360. So if I click here now, my data is now being loaded back to this attachment here. So it might take some seconds, maybe a minute, and then this will be updated. But basically what my next step would be, I would then assign it to someone else to take the next steps. And this is how the kind of the BIM workflow looks like, and it's for this construction project management. I'll quickly show you an example, so not an example, just how it looks like on desktop. So on desktop, we have the BIM 360 here on top. And I will not do anything special, but I'll just show you. So this is the project structure. This is the PDF we had before. So if I refresh it, you will see here, there will be an issue added. So this was the new one I just added. And if I click on it, then I will also see the information inside. What you can do, it's the same workflow as on mobile. You can basically just kind of upload the existing issues, so the existing images, and yeah, work with them. Okay, that is for the BIM 360. If you have any questions, workflows, check the video. More questions, contact me anytime, and we can explain more. So I'm going to quickly switch now back to the parts presentation, and let's see. So in this presentation, you have everything described here very nicely, so I'll not go through all these things, but it's basically what I've been kind of discussing now. So all the information, again, described here, very good. The kind of the different statuses, what they mean, and yeah, so everything like that, desktop view as well as the web view. Okay, so the next thing is, so the next function we added, it's a very new one, it's the image group. So what it means is, very quickly, it's really cool. So what you can do is, you can add 3D images to existing photogrammetry software such as Agisoft, or so at the moment it's Agisoft, but very soon we will add many more softwares as well. So product management is working hard on these integrations, and we have a lot of them signed up. So there will be a lot of different synchronizations. But what it means is very basically, so instead of going out and take photogrammetry photos with good cameras or your phone or drones, and in this case, you can just do it with the BLK3D. And the benefit is that you don't need any references, right? So we take all the references from the baseline here, and this gives us very good information what is the accuracy in the photo. So you can be very spontaneous into capturing these photos very quick. You don't need to have all the equipment. You just carry this device around, take shots of a scene or a facade, process them later, and then you have the whole kind of a 3D model point cloud basically. So again, in this presentation, you have all the information you needed, but what we're doing is point clouds and orthophoto using calibrated BLK3D star images. And yeah, so why you should use this instead of the normal camera? Like I said, one thing is you get automatic scale. And the other thing is also we detect the Z-axis. So when you open a model, it's not like floating somewhere in space, but it's basically kind of in the correct position because we have the tilt sensor inside the device. So it's pretty cool, and it saves you a ton of time because you don't need to have all these reference measurements, be sure have the equipment and things like that. You only need to have this device to basically create big kind of a point clouds. So I'm going to quickly jump. So everything is happening on the device. Quickly jump now to the device screen. And I'm going to show you where this is. So when you updated the device, or when you update device, you will see an image group, right? So if you don't see it, what you have to do is you probably have to go into settings here. So settings, and then at the bottom, you have here an image group capture, and you just turn it on, and that will show the image group in your home screen. And it's very simple. So you just start the function and you capture one scene, right? So you just start taking photos on it. So I'll go more into the screen later on the presentation, but it's a very simple process. You capture photos with this function, and then in Organizer, you can just review. Let's say you can quickly see all your images. So if I scroll down, you will see here there's at the bottom image group. So it's a new folder. And if I click on it, you will see I have 4 projects here. And in the in top right of each project, you see a number. And this number basically indicates what is how many photos I have in that image group. And I'll show you later for one of this example what it actually means in the end. So how does the model look like? Okay, so let's go back to presentation. Yeah, so here we have it. So this is very similar to single shot capturing. You have the photo. When you're finished with the whole scene, you click done. You have the image capturing, so you get the feeling how many photos you took. Some rules on how you should capture images. Of course, we want to do some overlapping again when you take images. But for example, if you can simplify things, if you have a room like this, you basically just go to the other side of the room and you kind of take shots kind of around the room. And then the overlapping should be more than enough for images to be processed. If you're documenting a road or anything like that, again, you can have different kind of workflows how you do that. So of course you need to have enough overlapping. And what you want to do is, depending on what you want to capture, for example, public safety, they need to have also photos from the top. And we also recommend using kind of poles like this. So a pole like this. So there are many different ones, different kind of people producing them. Our product management is looking kind of best examples and so on. So we already have some of them for recommendation, but we just want to make sure. But basically how it works, you just attach it on the top, and then on the bottom you have a remote controller, which can be like your phone or any other kind of Android device. You can connect remote screen and capture. Or you can basically also do a timer. So you can put it on a pole and put a timer, and then just raise the pole and then take a shot at it, after 5 seconds or something like that. And so once you capture all the data, what happens then is you go back home and you don't transfer this data to desktop. So on desktop at the moment, this imaging group is not yet supported. But what you can do is you simply just plug it into your computer and then just transfer this data to this Agisoft software, for example, and then it will already be recognized there and just load it directly to external software. This is one case that we did. So you can see kind of what it means in practical example. So you have, we took 50 BLK3D stereo images. It was, around 5 minutes capturing time, again, handheld and a bit on the pole. And then this is the results we have. So basically you get a nice kind of a top view or, a point cloud, which can be, you can then again measure in it accurately. So you can very quickly see the benefit of this. So it's a small device, you can carry it anyway. It's not expensive if you're driving it around with it. So, it can be used in every police car, for example, and they're already using a lot of these photogrammetry softwares, and would be very easy for them to, just adopt this one and improve their workflow like that. So another example is a facade. This was done here in Leica. So again, just 20 images, under 5 minutes. You can process this very, very quickly. It's not a lot of data. And basically then you can have a very nice view of how it looks like, what you need to do, just plan your things based on this, the complete kind of a facade. So it's very impressive. I have here a small video. We will not check the whole thing, but it kind of shows you the process we have here. So this is now done in Agisoft software. It was done by my colleague yesterday, and it was done by the images I showed you yesterday. So, so what you do is you upload the images to the software, and then you will see here a group of images, and these are then taken. Each image has a scale inside, so we know the baseline, and then when this is processed. So first of all, we want to align these images for correct orientations and so on. So this would be the first step they're doing. So we're just gonna do a bit skip. And once this alignment is done, you have the photos aligned. And the next step, what you want to do is you want to have a bit more, create this dense point cloud. And this would be now the next step. So I'm just going to skip this model now. So there's a couple of steps you need to do in Agisoft to create this. But yeah, here's the process. And here is the result. So it will be now switched to Point Desk Cloud, and now you can see the actual result. So again, I took this in 7 minutes in total. I was there, and it looks really nice. It's very precise. I didn't have to think about much. I just went there. You can see my positions of the cameras where I was, and I could still get very nice objects. And it's pretty cool. It's very amazing what you can do with it very quickly. So everything is scaled. So here are 2 measurements shown, just for understanding what it means. So we have 2.2 here, so 222. And I think this another measurement should be the same, and it's the same. Yeah, so let's skip a bit further then. And I want to show you one more thing, which is this orthophoto. So this is how it looks like. It's almost already like a photo. And basically the cool idea is, in a single shot, you only have, so much room where you can put on one photo, but here you can basically combine different photos and have, measure from the whole length and have a very nice image. So I think it's very impressive what you can do. And I think from this side, we will get, this is just a start, and we'll get many more examples what we can do with it. Okay, so I'll finish here. The end of the video is just kind of showing the model around. So what are some other things that are in the dispatch? So quite cool ones. So first of all, we have a notification icon when you capture single shot and multi shots. if an image can be blurry, right? So the blurry image can become when there's bad lighting or it's shaking device. And whenever that happens is you will get this kind of a notification here. So if I quickly show you, oops, this one. So I'm going to my device again. And if I go to reality capture, you will see here. So you see now I have a dark image, and you see, if I can do it like this. So you see my notification here that the image will be blurry. And if I go to more bright, then it should disappear, and also the shaking is there. So it's a very cool tool that helps you make good images. And I think that's very important. So another thing that was greatly improved is the publishing. So this publishing BLK3D Web, how it worked before, it was so you published, and then when you published it could take a couple of seconds, let's say half a minute to publish something. If you published 4 or 5 images, it could take a couple of minutes. But I want to show you now on desktop actually what it means with this new publishing function. So let's take, for example, I'm going to take this image and I'm going to publish it. Actually, let's take a couple of images and publish them. So I'm going to publish 4 images, and you will see that they are published now much quicker, which is much more useful, especially on the mobile. So the processing is the same, everything is the cloud. And when you're in the field, you want this to publish very quickly. And this is basically the speed you will get now. More or less instant. You publish and you can already send it away. So very nice improvement and very useful. We also updated, sorry, I need to switch here. We also updated the user manual, added the language, Russian, for all the Russian speaking. And we also did some good things in this with the system update to 6.60. So we added the latest Android security package. We have wireless screencast. So this is very cool if you're doing like demos and things like that, especially when you go to see someone or you want to present to the computer. So I'll show you how to do that. There are some instructions in this PowerPoint. But the other 2 improvements that we also have is display illumination improvement. So on the device is now brighter, and it's not just that we turned on the brightness, but actually it's brighter and it takes less energy to be displayed as brighter. So it's very cool. And there are also some camera improvements. So it's capturing faster. Sometimes when maybe you took a photo, it didn't take the photo, you had to take it again. So all these things were kind of removed or improved. So it runs much more smoother now. So this is this wireless screencast. I will not show it today, otherwise I have to disconnect everything. But basically, it's very simple. On the device, you go on the settings, you go under the cast, and you just enable it. And then on the desktop side, you go under this, bottom right or bottom left, wherever it is, and you're looking for the connect. And then you just click projecting to this PC, and then you have some settings there, and you can basically project the screen straight away wherever you are. Either it's a projector, computer, so it's pretty cool as a nice saving tool. What is new in BLK3D Desktop? The biggest, let's say, improvement is that we are now improving this processing of images. So we used the CPU before already, but it only used 1 core. And what we do now is that we're using all of the cores from computer. So if you have more cores, of course, it will go much faster. So what this means is from 4 to 8 times faster the processing. So here you have some examples. Oh, sorry. So before, how it looked like, a single shot computation took 13 seconds, and now it takes 2 seconds. So with a good machine, and before it was multi-shot 44 and now 6. So I'm going to show you just a small example. My machine is not as good, so I'm going to turn this one off. But I'm going to still process this one. So I'm going to open it, and then you will see kind of the difference. So before it took me, let's say, to process a multi-shot, it took me more than a minute to do it. So now you see the single shot processing, and after that it will be multi-shot processing. So this one is now improved, as well as the multi-shot is improved. And on the other side is also all the measurements you do inside, it's also improved. So let's say if you're modeling something in image, you have to do a lot of lines, and this could take really, really long to be loaded. So the single shot is loaded, and now when I do measurements, so I had to choose maybe a blurry image here. So the computation now, it's much, much faster than it was before. So points already computed, perfect. So this is something we've been waiting for a long time, and now it's very, very useful, especially on multi-shots where it took quite a while to being processed. But now it's very usable. Let's go back here. So you have here some recommendations. What we recommend is to have a computer. But yeah, so you have everything here, so you can always check. And another improvement that we did was we have this CMI. And when you have a CMI file, is now recognized as a BLK3D Desktop file. So basically, if someone sends you this file and you just want to do some measurements on it, you don't have to drag it to your kind of a folder where you are, you have all the files for BLK3D Desktop. But you can just simply double click it and it will open in Desktop. So, and what is even more, when you close that file, it will also save all the changes back to that file specific. So it's much easier when you're sharing files around. You don't have to kind of drag them to the same database and then reload everything, which might take a while. Yeah, and publishing, which are already, so improvements in publishing, which we showed already. And now the last thing, what we have is the API for third-party integration. And so what the story here is, it's really about this kind of a progress documentation, BIM world, everything documenting in kind of construction. And this is where we're targeting majority. And it's really similar to BIM 360 Docs with Autodesk, where you have a documentation tool and everyone can kind of use it, right? But the thing is, the different countries have different regulations, and then you have localized apps that do this thing, and they do it very nicely. And what we want to do with this API is that we try to work together with these different localized apps who do this documentation very good. And we just want to offer them that they can also now use our images, so measurable images, in their documentation. And yeah, with some very simple, let's say, integration with API, they can now also do that. So there are different steps that we will take here in this process. So first of all, you will kind of, so what they will do is they will install their Android app on the device, they will integrate the API, and then whenever they want to do, they can call our functions, so the capturing and the measure functions, and they can store now this into their cloud, and then they can then also view those files in their cloud. So I think it's very interesting. It opens a lot of doors, opportunities, because these companies usually have thousands and thousands of customers, and it opens new opportunities definitely. So it's coming in April, and it's going to be, I'm not sure if you know it, but it's going to be on GPN. It's a portal on Leica. You can access it here. You just sign in, and then you can request for this API, and then it will get approved, and then you can download it. So it's very simple. Okay, good. So this was the last of the new things as an update. I think we are okay on time. Now it's 37 minutes. So I will jump to questions. Okay. So we have a question, does the imaging group work also with Cyclone, Register, or Infinity? At the moment, so it's planned, but not yet. So we have started with Agisoft, not because we wouldn't like to do it with Infinity. Definitely Infinity was priority, but let's Cyclone as well. It's just that they have some other things, and we haven't get to that point, but it's in development and it will be done, yes, at some point. And a lot of others also are coming as well. So I don't have the information which ones, but it's quite a big. I think everything that they need, they will have. What's the accuracy of the point cloud? So accuracy locally is similar to what you can expect in a single image. So let's say if you when you make an object 4 meters, 10 meters away, you have this 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter accuracy. This is the accuracy of the point cloud. If you go to long distance, we're merging together these photos. It will be something similar. It will be, but we are not sure yet. We cannot give the number yet out. So this is something the product management now is evaluating what we can achieve. But again, it depends a lot on the external software. So we need to test different softwares, and then we can also recommend different things. Yes, Infinity we said. Yeah, so also recap. We haven't tested yet. We only did it now with the Agisoft. But I think there will be a lot of updates with this imaging group. Integration should come more or less, a lot of them till beginning of summer, and there'll be, I guess, more use cases. But it's something you can do already today. You can try it out yourself, and yeah, should be okay. Just a couple of things more. I want to say. So after this, I'll send you the recording as well as the PowerPoint of this webinar till Monday. So Monday, I'll do some cuts and so on, and also add the answers to the questions, and maybe some more information on these softwares. I can ask Tobias because he has all the information. So I'll add there more information just in general. One other thing is also, we are also offering like online demos for anyone that needs help just understanding what it is, or if you have a customer where you want to have maybe some support with explaining and things like that. So if we are offering this to anyone, dealers, whoever, just write me and we can set up something, and then it's all about kind of educating and getting the word out. So we are very very happy to kind of support you, especially where in these times now when we are all kind of sitting at home. Hopefully maybe some cannot. And then the next thing I want to ask you is if you can visit the YouTube site. So we created a YouTube site. I'm going to open it. Just a second. Okay. So let's go here. On this YouTube site, you will find all the information you need to know, or let's say all the videos we have for BLK3D. So everything that Andy Fontana did with the training videos that I did, all the workflow videos, all the videos that we have from different distributors showing use cases, you can find everything here. So if someone is wondering, how to measure facade or maybe a bridge or anything, or how to publish, you will find all the information here. So please have a look, click through, and see what is available. So there are two kind of, it's structured in two ways. So you have the use cases here, and then kind of a how-to videos here, and then more in general, like a BLK3D. But yeah, this list gets updated whenever we have a new video, but I think you can expect every week to have a new video here. Either it's a use case, an example, or just new functions and anything like that. So I will also add the recording probably here, and then everyone can kind of access it. So just have a look there. It's very useful to have it, and yeah, easier to distribute. Here we are. And now the last thing I wanted to talk to you about is, so it's kind of a difficult times now. So we are all in this same situation. I have my home webinar setup. But yeah, I think it's a perfect time, even though it's, it's hard, we can't, the business is not good, people are also suffering somewhere. on the other side, this gives us also kind of new opportunities. We can reflect on things. We can now spend more time with families, maybe do different hobbies, and I encourage you to do that. And as well as I think it's the perfect time to maybe learn to learn what we can do, and then that when this kind of crisis is over and we're all safe and we can continue working, that we will be ready as much as we can. Okay. So if any more questions, please write them to my email. I'll be happy to answer them. And thank you very much for joining. And have a nice day. Bye-bye.